Yes, 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 yes. Shabbat Shalom. Sembet Salam. Greetings, 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 brothers and sisters. Sabbath time, Sabbath time, Sabbath Eve is here, here, here on the air and in the iRit right here. Still going through some blog talk, but looking forward to a whole new set as the new year comes in. This Gentile New Year comes in, but here. Well, the live stream right here, just getting some things together. So Shabbat Shalom, Sembet Salam, greetings.
Shabbat Shalom. A song for days of resting inside your home. Sembet Selam. Shabbat Shalom. Hey. Sembet Selam. Shabbat Shalom. A song for days of resting inside your home. Sembet Selam. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank Jah Rastafari.
Jump! Rastafari. Jump! Rastafari. Jump! Rastafari.
Yay, 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 yay.
Shalom.
And choosing. Yeah, man, he that know the right and do the wrong shall be spangled ministry. When the heathen come to children step wise. Even though they make mention of them and those, fire them will never be friend. Fire burn. You know why? You know why? Yes, them have the heart of a pagan. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil and move with Satan. Righteous trod in the countenance of the Almighty One. Them have the heart of demons. The children have the heart of a lion, I know.
Selassie is a master, yeah, for the enemies are confounded.
Yes, yes, yes. Shabbat Shalom, Sembet Salam. So here for the Sabbath Eve podcast for the TJIF. Thank you. Yeah. It is Friday right here. HaShabbat Dove, the 8th Hayim, the whole reason for the season. Yes, I. Shema'ah Yisrael. Hear this. Here. Sabbath.
Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe HaShabbat throughout their generations, a perpetual covenant. It, a sign between me and the children of Israel, the children of Israel forever. For 6 days Yahweh Jehovah made Hashemayim, the heavens and earth and the earthly plane. And on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. Beini u vein bnei Yisrael oti le'olam ki shesheta yamim asah Yahweh et hashemayim ve'et haaretz vayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash. It is a sign between I and the sons of Yisrael. Beini u vein bnei Yisrael. Ot he, she is a sign. Ot he. Beini u vein bnei Yisrael. Ot he le'olam. For she is a sign between I and the children of Yisrael le'olam, for I le'olam. Ki shesheta yamim asah Yahweh, for in 6 days. Ki shesheta yamim, he who be made asah Yahweh. Jehovah made Eta Hashemayim, the heavens, were Eta Haaretz, and the earth and the earthly plane, Uvayom HaShavi'i, and on the 7th day, Ubayom HaShavi'i, Shavata Vayinafash, he ceased from work. Shabbat, Vayinafash, and rested. He rested and was refreshed. Shabbat, Why enough, 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 enough,
Shabbat Shalom.
Babylon burning, Babylon burning, Babylon burning. They have
the water. Fire, 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 fire.
Psalms, yes, I for the Shabbat, Kabbalat, the Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming the Sabbath. Kabbalat Shabbat, the 6 Psalms, 95 to 99, plus Psalm 29, right here.
Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving, and make a joyful noise unto him with psalms. For the Lord is a great God, and a great King above all gods. In his hand are the deep places of the earth. The strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his, and he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. Today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your heart as in the provocation, and as in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work. 40 years long was I grieved with this generation, and said, it is a people that do err in their heart, and they have not known my way. Unto whom I swear in my wrath, that they should not enter into my rest, my rest, my rest, my rest, my rest. Psalm 96. O sing unto the Lord a new song. Sing unto the Lord, all the earth. Sing unto the Lord, bless his name. Show forth his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. Give unto the Lord, O ye kindreds of the people. Give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. O worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Fear before him all the earth. Say among the heathen that the Lord reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. Let the heavens rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar, and the fullness thereof. Let the field be joyful, and all that is therein. Then shall all the trees of the wood rejoice before the Lord. For he cometh to judge the earth. He shall judge the world with righteousness, and the people with his truth, 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 with his truth. Psalm 97. The Lord reigneth. Let the earth rejoice. Let the multitude of isles be glad thereof. Clouds and darkness are round about him. Righteousness and judgment are the habitation of his throne. A fire goeth before him, and burneth up his enemies round about. His lightnings enlightened the world. The earth saw and trembled. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. The heavens declare his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. Confounded be all they that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols. Worship him, all ye gods. Zion heard and was glad, and the daughters of Judah rejoiced because of thy judgments, O Lord. For thou, Lord, art high above all the earth. Thou art exalted far above all gods. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Rejoice in the Lord, ye righteous, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. His holiness, his holiness, his holiness, his holiness. Psalm 98. O sing unto the Lord a new song, for he hath done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm hath gotten him the victory. The Lord hath made known his salvation. His righteousness hath he openly showed in the sight of the heathen. He hath remembered his mercy and his truth toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the earth. Make a loud noise, and rejoice, and sing praise. Sing unto the Lord with the harp. with the harp and the voice of a psalm, with trumpets and sound of cornet, make a joyful noise before the Lord the King. Let the sea roar and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Let the floods clap their hands, let the hills be joyful together before the Lord. For he cometh to judge the earth. With righteousness shall he judge the world and the people with equity, with equity, with equity, with equity. Psalm 99. The Lord reigneth, let the people tremble. He sitteth between the cherubims, let the earth be moved. The Lord is great in Zion, and he is high above all the people. Let them praise thy great and terrible name, for it is holy. The king's strength also loveth judgment. Thou dost establish equity. Thou executest judgment and righteousness in Jacob. Exalt ye the Lord our God, and worship at his footstool, for he is holy. Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that call upon his name, they called upon the Lord, and he answered them. He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar. They kept his testimonies, and the ordinance that he gave them. Thou answeredst them, O Lord our God. Thou wast a God that forgavest them, though thou tookest vengeance of their invention. Exalt the Lord our God, and worship at his holy hill. The Lord our God is holy, God is holy, God is holy, God is holy. Psalm 29. Give unto the Lord, O ye mighty. Give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. The voice of the Lord is upon the waters. The God of glory thundereth. The Lord is upon many waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. The voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars. Yea, the Lord breaketh the cedars of Lebanon. He maketh them also to skip like a calf. Lebanon and Syrian like a young unicorn. The voice of the Lord divideth the flames of fire. The voice of the Lord shaketh the wilderness. The Lord shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Lord maketh the hinds to calve, and discovereth the forests. And in his temple doth every one speak of his glory. The Lord sitteth upon the flood. Yea, the Lord sitteth king forever. The Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with his people, 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 with his people.
מזמור צדהה. לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישענו. נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. אשר בידו מחקרי ארץ, ותועפות הרים לו. אשר לא הים והוא עשהו, ויבשת ידיו יצרו. בואו נשתחווה ונכרעה, נברכה לפני אדוני עושנו. כי הוא אלוהינו, ואנחנו עם מרעיתו וצאן ידו. היום אם בקולו תשמעו, אל תקשו לבבכם כמריבה, כיום מסע במדבר. אשר ניסוני אבותיכם, בחנוני גם ראו פועלי. 40 שנה אקוט בדור ואומר, עם טועה לבב הם, והם לא ידעו דרכי. אשר נשבעתי ואפי, אם יבואון אל מנוחתי, 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 מנוחתי. מזמור צ"ו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, וכל העמים נפלאותיו. כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים, ואדוני שמיים עשה. הוד והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו. הבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו. השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ. אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך, אף תיכון תבל בל תימוד. ידין עמים ומשרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירעם הים ומלואו. יעלוס שדי וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל עצי יער. לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו. מזמור צ"ז. אדוני מלך תגל הארץ, ישמחו איים רבים. ענן וערפל סביביו, צדק ומשפט מכון כסאו. אש לפניו תלך, ותלהט סביב צריו. העירו ורקב תבל, רעתה ותחל הארץ. הרים כדוניו נמסו מלפני אדוני, מלפני אדון כל הארץ. הגידו השמיים צדקו, וראו כל העמים כבודו. יבושו כל עובדי פסל המתהללים באלילים, השתחוו לו כל אלוהים. שמעה ותשמח ציון, ותגלנה בנות יהודה למען משפטיך, אדוני. כי אתה, אדוני, עליון על כל הארץ, מאוד נעלית על כל אלוהים. אוהבי אדוני שנאו רע, שומר נפשות חסידיו, מיד רשעים יצילם. אור זרוע לצדיק, ולישרי לב שמחה. שמחו צדיקים באדוני, והודו לזכר קודשו. מזמור צ"ח. מזמור. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, כי נפלאות עשה. הושיע לו ימינו וזרוע קודשו. הודיע אדוני ישועתו, לעיני הגויים גילה צדקתו. זכר חסדו ואמונתו לבית ישראל, ראו כל אפסי ארץ את ישועת אלוהינו. הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ, פיצחו ורננו וזמרו. זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וכל זמרה. בחצוצרות וכל שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני. ירעם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבה. נהרות ימחה וכף, יחד הרים ירננו. לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, ועמים במשרים. מזמור צ"ט. אדוני מלך ירגזו עמים, יושב קרובים תנות הארץ. אדוני בציון גדול, ורם הוא על כל העמים. יודו שמך גדול ונורא, קדוש הוא. ועוז מלך משפט אהב, אתה כוננת משרים. משפט וצדקה ביעקב, אתה עשית. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו, והשתחוו לאדום רגליו, קדוש הוא. משה ואהרון בכהניו, ושמואל בקוראי שמו. קוראים אל אדוני והוא יענם, בעמוד ענן ידבר עליהם, שמרו עדותיו וחוק נתן למו. אדוני אלוהינו אתה עניתם, אל נושא היית להם, ונוקם על עלילותם. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו, והשתחוו להר קודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. אלוהינו, 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 אלוהינו. מזמור כ"ט, מזמור לדוד. הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז. הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש. כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד הרעים, אדוני על מים רבים. כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר. כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון. וירקידם כמו עגל, לבנון וסיריון כמו בן ראמים. כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש. כל אדוני יחיל מדבר, יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש. כל אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחשוף יערות ובהיכלו, כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו ושלום, 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 ושלום.
Your Imperial Majesty, as a mature Christian, have you a special word for young people of these days?
በዚህ ቀን የኛ ግዛት ውስጥ ላለው ሁሉ ነው የምንናገረው።
On this occasion, I address also all those within our empire. Our Christianity is not restricted to a given church, and I stress above all that we do not wish to make distinctions. My advice to all is to fulfill the 10 commandments. You are aware of the contents of the 10 commandments and can elaborate on it. If the nation for which I am the emperor follows and accepts this, since it's also what I accept and follow, I would believe our country is not only historically Christian, but also actively Christian.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Sembe Salam. Here, Anna Bekoah.
Ana Bekoach, we beg thee. Ana Bekoach. Gedulata Yaminaka Tatir Sarura. With the strength and greatness of thy right arm. Gedulata Yaminaka Tatir Sarura. Untangle our knotted fate. Kaver Arina Ta'amika. Accept your people, thy people's song. Kaver Arina Ta'amika. Sangavenu. Tahreinu. Nora. Elevate and purify us. Sangavenu. Tahreinu. Elevate and purify I. Nora. Awesome one, dreaded one, dreadful one, awesome one. Na Gibor, please, heroic one, mighty one. Na Gibor, Dorsheya Yehudeka. Those who pursue your uniqueness. Kubavata Shamre, guard them as the pupil of the eye. Kubivat Shamrein Barkeim Tahareim Rachemei Sidik Ateka Tamida Damle. Bless them, purify them, pity them. Barkeim Tahareim Rachemei Idikateka Tamida Tamle. May your righteousness always reward them. Chasin Kadosh Berov Uvika. Powerful and holy and Isla one. In goodness Nahela Itateka. In goodness, lead your flock. Yahida Ge'eh Le'ameka B'nei Zochreya Kedushateka. Unique and proud one. To your people turn. Zochrei, those who remember Kedushateka, your holiness, your islandness, your set apartness. Shawatenu Kaver, accept our cries. Shawatenu Kaver, accept our cries. Ushma'a Sa'ikatenu. And hear our screams, accept our cries, our shout outs. Shawatenu Kaver Ushma Sa'ikatenu Yodea Ta Elumot. O knower of mysteries, of secrets. Yodea Ta Elumot. Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Le'olam Ra'ed. Blessed is the name of His Majesty, of His noble kingdom, forever and ever. לך דודי.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Yeah.
לך דודי, 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 דודי.
דודי.
לך דודי. לך דודי, לקראת הקלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Come, O friend, the bride to meet. Come, O friend, the Sabbath greets. Leka dodi likrat takala b'nei Shabbat nekabala. To be repeated after each stanza. Leka dodi likrati akala b'nei Shabbati nekabala. Keep and remember were fused in one word when the voice divine, Ivine, at Sinai was heard. Yahweh Echad Ushmo Echad. Yahweh, he who he be. Jehovah. Yah, Jaja Echad Ushmo Echad. Yahweh, Jehovah is one. And one is his name. Yahuwah Echad, Ushmo Echad, L'Shem U'L'Tifareta V'Tehillah. In him is our glory, in him our fame, I fame. Leka dodi likrati kala, P'nei Shabati nekabala. Oh, come. Let us make I meet the Queen of Days, the Sabbath Shabbat, yield to joy in all her ways. The last of Elohim's walk, but first in his design. The Sabbath Shabbat foreshadows blessing, baraka, divine, blessings divine. Leka dodi likrati akala b'nei Shabbati nekabala. Thou holy city, island city, thou shrine of Hamelech, of the king of the Negus, even Negus and Neges. Enough of thy grieving, come now and sing. Yahuwah Jehovah will redeem thee. Lift up thy face, Yahuwah Jehovah will restore thee again to his grace. Lecha dodi likrati akala, b'nei Shabbati nekabala. Shake off thy dust and rise from the mire. Come and bedeck thee in festive attire. Thy redemption is near, thy weeping let cease. Yahuwah Jehovah will fulfill thy yearnings for peace. Lecha dodi likrati kala, b'nei Shabbati nekabala. Arise, oh arise, for come is thy light. The darkness is lifted, gone is the night. Awake, awake, sing the song of the free. See all thy homeless returning to thee. Lecha dodi likrati kala, b'nei Shabbati nekabala. Why art thou downcast? Why dost thou moan? Yahuwah Jehovah his glory upon thee has shown. Thy foes he vanquished, thy foes he vaunt, he humbled their pride. Elo Hayik, the I Elohim has loved the I as bridegroom, his bride. Leka dodi likrati kalla, pene shapati nikabala. In freeness renewed again thou wilt thrive. Thy land will blossom, thy youth will revive. Elohim, steeds we, I know, and ever acclaim, chanting our praises, Isis, to his holy, his Isla name. Leka dodi likrati kalla. We, I greet thee, O Sabbath, O Shabbat, O Senbetoy, crowned by Adonai, Rastafari. We, I hail thee, rejoicing in common accord. We, I are the faithful who bask in thy light. We, I welcome thy day. We, I welcome thy night. Leka dodi likrati kala, pene shabati nikabala. Come, O friend, the bride to meet. Come, O friend, the Sabbath, Shabbat, the Senbet greet.
Thank you.
Senbet Selam, Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rastafari.
Jump! Rastafari. Jump! Rastafari. Jump! Rastafari.
Yay, 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 yay.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day, and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth, when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew.
Shabbat, 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 yes it is a Shabbat day. Shabbat day. Shabbat, Shabbat, holy Shabbat, yes it is the holy day. Holy day. Shabbat, 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 yes it is the Shabbat day. Shabbat day. Shabbat, Shabbat, holy Shabbat, yes it is the holy day. Work all week and now it's time to rest. Cook up the food and everything blessed. Read back and pull the scriptures out. Family reading what it's all about. Giving full attention to the most high of creation. He hallowed it and made it a holy day. Separation. To be one with the most high and feel his essence. Destructions of the world have to be absent. We have to remember the fourth commandment until thy kingdom come. Shabbat, 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 yes it is a Shabbat day. Shabbat day. Shabbat, Shabbat, holy Shabbat, yes it is the holy day. Holy day. Shabbat, 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 yes it is the Shabbat day. Shabbat day. Shabbat, Shabbat, holy Shabbat, yes it is the holy day. Holy day. I'm duty free from my responsibility for servitude. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's what the Father said we're supposed to do. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by the words that proceeded by him that sit up on the highest throne. From the heaven to the earth, angel and man abstain from work, just as it was from in the first. Why should I divert? Even love has take vacation, traveling and spending time one-on-one. It's a way of strengthening their union. We should do the same thing with the Almighty One. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat. Yes, it is a Shabbat day. Shabbat, Shabbat, holy Shabbat. Yes, it is the holy day. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat. Yes, it is the Shabbat day. Shabbat, Shabbat, holy Shabbat. Yes, it is the holy day.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Most High, Rastafari, on the sultry, playing on the 10th string, showing love and kindness, until in I the brutish man would never know, neither does the fool overstand his soul, cause Jah has made us triumph by the workings of our hands, work and deep thought gives us purpose and a plan, Send me Selah, Shabbat Shalom. A song for the days of rest, yeah, inside your home. Send me Selah, Shabbat Shalom. A song for the days of rest, yeah, inside your home. See when the wicked grow like the grass, workers of the iniquity hate your righteous path. Rastafari scatter them like sand amidst the shore. Enemies perish cause there's a life forevermore. But my heart shall wake up like the horn of Africa. See, I will be anointed with fresh oil, with fresh oil. Send me Selah, Shabbat Shalom. A song for the days of rest, yeah, inside your home and seal up. Send me Selah. At the time, people get caught in a dissonant mind. Listen behind, Babylon come with a different design, and still it's all the same. Better relax, sit and recline. His Majesty said unity and only Jah know. See enough of them are the sick and the blind. You consider divine. In a place which get them all, we call we high and I go sure. You find your peace in a life. You face up different this time. You find position and prayer, balance with spiritual life. Rasta are Israelite, where Babylon feel like trying to cut the branch. Please let it grow. The root of David, he could only be so. Got to take it easy, please take it slow. That's why I say, Selah, Shabbat Shalom. A song for the days of rest, yeah, inside your home. Send me Selah, oh Shabbat Shalom. A song for the days of rest, yeah. Oh, well.
Yes, yes, yes. Shabbat Shalom, Army Gideon. One of the best and blessed bands out right now. Yes, Shabbat Shalom, Senbet Salam right there. Army Gideon. Check out Army Gideon on the tube, on the YouTube. Army Gideon. Give thanks, Ra, Sanbesa. Yes, we're going to ride up right here with today's daily psalm. Just an intro to today's daily psalm, Psalm 139. Here. And then after that, the Amida, and get into more of today's daily psalm and also this 12th sabbatical study for this weekly Torah portion reading and feeding here. We about to seal up a chazak, wanit chazek. Be strong, and make I be strengthened. Chazak, be encouraged, wanit chazek, and make we encourage one another. What we say whenever we complete a book of HaTorah, and he about to complete the first book of Moshe, Hebrew book known as Bereshit, called Genesis. But here, today's daily Psalm 139,
Psalm
Shema
139.
Yisrael.
O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect. And in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me, and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting, 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 everlasting.
Amida prayer, all rise. Yes, the Amida right here. Going to get into a little bit more of the breakdown in the Bel Yeshua and the Amida prayer right here.
My Lord, open my
standing
lips,
prayer,
and my mouth shall declare your
Shabbat
praise.
time.
Blessed are you, Lord, our God and God of our fathers, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, the great, mighty, and awesome God, exalted God who bestows bountiful kindness, who creates all things, who remembers the piety of the patriarchs, and who in love brings a Redeemer to their children's children for the sake of his name. O King, you are a helper, a savior, and a shield. Blessed are you, Lord, shield of Abraham. You are mighty forever, my Lord. You resurrect the dead, you are powerful to save.
You sustain the living with loving kindness, resurrect the dead with great mercy, support the falling, heal the sick, release the bound, and fulfill your trust to those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, mighty one? And who can be compared to you, King, who brings death and restores life and causes deliverance to spring forth? You are trustworthy to revive the dead. Blessed are you, Lord, who revives the dead. We will hallow and adore you as the sweet words of the assembly of the holy seraphim, who twice repeat, Holy unto you, as it is written by your prophet. And they call one to another and say, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of the hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. Blessed be the glory of the Lord from its place. And in your holy scriptures it is written thus, the Lord shall reign forever, your God, O Zion, throughout all generations. Praise the Lord. You are holy, and your name is holy, and holy beings praise you daily for all eternity. Blessed are you, Lord, the holy God. You graciously bestow knowledge upon man and teach mortals understanding. Graciously bestow upon us from you wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Blessed are you, Lord, who graciously bestows knowledge. Cause us to return, our Father, to your Torah. Draw us near, our King, to your service, and bring us back to you in wholehearted repentance. Blessed are you, Lord, who desires repentance. Pardon us, our Father, for we have sinned. Forgive us, our King, for we have transgressed. For you are a good and forgiving God. Blessed are you, Lord, gracious one who pardons abundantly. O behold our affliction and wage our battle. Redeem us speedily for the sake of your name. For you, God, are the mighty Redeemer. Blessed are you, Lord, Redeemer of Israel. Heal us, O Lord, and we will be healed. Help us, and we will be saved. For you are our praise. Grant complete cure and healing to all our wounds. For you, Almighty King, are a faithful and merciful healer. Blessed are you, Lord, who heals the sick of his people, Israel. Bless for us, Lord our God, this year, and all the varieties of his produce for good, and bestow blessing upon the face of the earth. Satisfy us from your bounty, and bless our year like other good years for blessing. For you are a generous God who bestows goodness and blesses the years. Blessed are you, Lord, who blesses the years. Sound the great shofar for our freedom. Raise a banner to gather our exiles, and bring us together from the four corners of the earth into our land. Blessed are you, Lord, who gathers the dispersed of his people, Israel. Restore our judges as in former times, and our counselors as of yore. Remove from us sorrow and sighing, and reign over us. You alone, O Lord, with kindness and compassion, with righteousness and justice. Blessed are you, Lord, King, who lives righteousness and justice. Let there be no hope for informers, and may all the heretics and all the wicked instantly perish. May all the enemies of your people be speedily extirpated, and may you swiftly uproot, break, crush, and subdue the reign of wickedness speedily in our days. Blessed are you, Lord, who crushes enemies and subdues the wicked. May your mercies be aroused, Lord our God, upon the righteous, upon the pious, upon the elders of your people, the house of Israel, upon the remnant of their sages, upon the righteous proselytes, and upon us. Grant ample reward to all who truly trust in your name and place our lot among them. May we never be disgraced, for we have put our trust in you. Blessed are you, Lord, the support and security of the righteous. Return in mercy to Jerusalem, your city, and dwell therein as you have promised. Speedily establish therein the throne of David, your servant, and rebuild it soon in our days as an everlasting edifice. Blessed are you, Lord, who rebuilds Jerusalem. Speedily cause the sign of David, your servant, to flourish, and increase his power by your salvation, for we hope for your salvation all day. Blessed are you, Lord, who causes the power of salvation to flourish. Hear our voice, Lord our God, merciful Father. Have compassion upon us, and accept our prayers in mercy and favor. For you are God who hears prayers and supplications. Do not turn us away empty-handed from you, our King, for you hear the prayer of everyone. Blessed are you, Lord, who hears prayer. Look with favor, Lord our God, on your people Israel, and pay heed to their prayer. Restore the service to your sanctuary, and accept with love and favor Israel's fire offerings and prayer. And may the service of your people Israel always find favor. May our eyes behold your return to Zion in mercy. Blessed are you, Lord, who restores his divine presence to Zion. We thankfully acknowledge that you are the Lord, our God, and God of our fathers forever. You are the strength of our life, the shield of our salvation in every generation. We will give thanks to you and recount your praise evening, morning, and noon. For our lives which are committed into your hands, for our souls which are entrusted to you, for your miracles which are with us daily, and for your continual wonders and beneficences. You are the beneficent one, for your mercies never cease, the merciful one, for your kindness never ends, for we always place our hope in you. And for all these, may your name, our King, be continually blessed, exalted and extolled forever and all time. And all living things shall forever thank you and praise your great name eternally. For you are good. God, you are everlasting salvation and help, all benevolent. God, blessed are you, Lord, beneficent is your name, and to you it is fitting to offer thanks. Bestow peace, goodness, and blessing, life, graciousness, kindness, and mercy upon us and upon all your people Israel. Bless us, our Father, and all of us as one, with the light of your countenance. For by the light of your countenance you gave us, Lord our God, the Torah of light and loving kindness, righteousness, blessing, mercy, life, and peace. May it be favorable in your eyes to bless your people Israel at all times and at every moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Lord, who blesses his people Israel with peace. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. My God, guard my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking deceitfully. Let my soul be silent to those who curse me. Let my soul be as dust to all. Open my heart to your Torah, and let my soul eagerly pursue your commandments. As for all those who plot evil against me, hasten to annul their counsel and frustrate their design. Let them be as chaff before the wind. Let the angel of the Lord thrust them away. That your beloved ones may be delivered, help with your right hand and answer me. Do it for the sake of your name. Do it for the sake of your right hand. Do it for the sake of your Torah. Do it for the sake of your holiness. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. He who makes peace in his heavens, may he make peace for us and for all Israel, and say Amen. May it be your will, Lord our God and God of our fathers, that the Bet Hamkedash be steadily rebuilt in our days, and grant us portion in your Torah. In your Torah. In your Torah. In your Torah. In your Torah.
Now, today's daily psalm.
Psalm 139. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect. And in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting, 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 everlasting.
Shalom. Today's daily psalm, the 139th psalm, the Kof Lamed 8 psalm, Psalm CXXX.
Yes. Intro.
Psalm
Today's daily psalm.
139 in the Sefer Tehillim. In the Psalter, let's check in some of the points of reference, just to get the basics, some of the basics on today's daily psalm. So here, the Mezmor Dawit, HIM Haile Selassie Bible, we call it the RAB, Revised Amharic Bible. Also, when we compare and contrast the KJV, we call it the HSV, Haile Selassie version. But here, looking at today's daily psalm, okay, we have it right here in the Royal Amharic. Going to ride up with Amharic as well, but from low degrees, as we say, to high degrees. Right, in the way, the truth, the life of the King of Kings, His Divine Majesty, we ride up right here. A couple of first words on today's daily psalm, the 139th psalm, the Kof Lamed 8. Now those Hebrew letters you hear, so maybe say Mizmor, Kof Lamed 8 of today's daily psalm, the 139th psalm, because that's how it's referred to Hebraically speaking. So ones and ones can become more and more familiar, little by little, step by step, side by side, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So we have Psalm 139 to the chief musician, a psalm of David, Psalm 139. Now, as we are just preparing right here to ride up with at least the Aleph Beit Gimel verse. Well, the first section, first of all, looking over the Hebrew. So we have the English here, KJV, King James Version. We have the Hebrew right here, going to ride up with the Royal Amharic. And we have this document right here with the Septuagint as well. So the Septuagint. Now, not to get into the details right there, but as we mentioned before, it's a very good book for the Chaverim, for the fellow disciples. Edward Ullendorf, Ethiopia and the Bible. It's kind of rare. It was, I think, like a compilation of essays, academic kind of studies and essays. So it was published as collegiately, certain works are published for the students and the staff and others, within that academic cipher, almost like for I&I amongst the yeshiva, the publications, ones and ones on their blog, on their posts, sometimes compiling their blogs and their posts, so forth and so on, and, amongst I&I. But often there might be some very important uncoveries or discoveries or reasonings that are presented, within one's, notes and one's personal studies that are shared with others. And this is where Edward Ullendorf has a book called Ethiopia and the Bible. I'd like to pick up with that as we move further, because when we introduce some of the Hebraic
some of our people are a little more fanatical about the Amharic, which is good. And it's a zeal, but let the zeal be with gnosis, with knowledge, with da'at, with the ilket, as we say Ethiopically speaking. So here for today's daily psalm, just to build up right here for the first words, and we have 139. It's a psalm that is themed. It's themed, simply speaking, plain English, God, omniscient and omnipresent. God, Elohim, the true good, the true God, omniscient, omniscient. Now, it's an interesting word, scient, omniscient. If you come across that word, omniscient and omniscience, omniscience, right? Omniscience. I always said it like that back in days. Omni is a word that means all. I think it's is it the Latin term? Just gonna put that out there right there. But scientia, the word science is really scientia, and the word science actually means to know. Even when we say conscience. And this psalm also kind of touches on that as well. The conscience, kon, means with. It can also mean against. It depends on whether we're talking about Latin or Greek and the particular sense of it. So in the sense of conscience, it means with knowing. Conscientia, like in some of the Latin and
Well, actually, that's Latin or I think Spanish.
Romance language, con means with, with. But then in another sense, kon or con can mean against. But in the sense of conscience means with knowing. Omniscience means all knowing, all scientia, all science, all knowledge. And omnipresent, well, that means all present, right? Or having the ability to be present whither and wheresoever he seeks to be present. And it's interesting when we get into the name, the Hashem. Right, but here we have today's daily psalm, and this is like the intro. We call this like the intro from the Sefer Tehillim. It reads, "This is the noblest utterance in the Psalter of pure contemplative theism." Right? Now theism is theos means God, and of course people say ism, but on that particular level, but is one believing in God, a God. Right, a God, or the principle of God. Some say they don't believe in the theory of God. Right? Interesting, the word theory has God in it. So even their theory is a God. So for the atheists, their atheism is their God. It's actually their God. It's the ruling principle when we get to the root of what we're speaking about. But today's daily psalm is of Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God. We can say Jah. Jah is omniscient. Jah is omniscient, all-knowing, and omnipresent. And in the Qaf Lamed 8 Psalm, the 139th Psalm, Psalm CXXXIX, right, Elohim's omnipresence and omniscience, omniscience, we have the noblest utterance in the Psalter, the Tehillim, of pure contemplative theism. Animated and not crushed. Animated, moved, right? Animation, right? That movement, animated. And not crushed by the thought of Jah's omniscience and omnipresence. Now, a similar judgment was passed by Ibn Ezra, who had remarked concerning today's daily psalm, the Qaf Lamed 8 Psalm, that this Mizmor is the most glorious on the theme of the ways of Elohim, on the ways of Jah. The most glorious on the theme of the ways of Elohim, and is unequaled in the 5 books of the Psalter. So the Psalms has 5 books. So when we look at the Psalms of David, there's actually 5 books in the book of Psalms, right? Hebraically, Judaically, from that perspective, and this is also testified, right, elsewhere. Now, what's interesting is when Rovenu, the rabbi of rabbis, Black Lord and Savior Yeshua HaMoshiach, said to the Yehudi of his time, he says, "It is written in your law." Notice he said that, in your law, and he quoted. The quotation that he quoted was from the Psalms. Note that. The 5 books of Moshe, the 5 books of the Psalter, the Tehillim. the Mezmoret Dawit. Now, we have the writer's realization, right? And I in writing up, there's a realization of Elohim, the most intimate and the most personal. The effect of, here they say religious, we like to bring it out more in a in an applicable way. More in, when one say religious, it becomes almost like speculative or philosophical in a sense, right? But more in a interactive way, the psycho-spiritual, the soul and spirit, the psycho-spiritual experience, rather than of what ones will call rational meditation. Like, so a lot of times people talk about meditation. People talk about they be meditating. There's such a thing called rational meditation. Right, rational meditation. We're not saying that it's wrong, right? But that's not what this psalm is about. It's about that psycho-spiritual suke, the soul, right? The psyche and the spirit experience, rather than of a rational or rationalistic, rations. Like, you ration out something, you put it in portions, like in little compartments or little parts. You know what I mean? Compartmentalized meditation. Now, the Hebrew has a late Aramaic coloring. The Hebrew here has an Aramaic, so this basically means, Habarim, it has more of a Eastern Shemitic, right? More of the Eastern Afro-Shemitic in its language. Okay, let me put it like this. You know how here in this North Country in America, one speak different, whether one say, oh, that person, he was from the East Coast, because he had an accent somewhere from the east or north or somewhere like that. This is what it's saying right here about the Hebrew of today's daily psalm. It has more of a east, right? More of an east side flavoring than the west side. While the Hebrew itself, like the Royal Amharic, Afro-Semitic language, is more Western Shemitic. But sometimes there's some older, for example, Guttas, Ethiopic, right? Ethiopic is more a pure Shemitic language, and it has more of an Eastern. It's more. It would be more like Aramaic in some sense, and Syriac on that level. While Amharic, the King of Kings, the pure language, the King has turned to us, according to Zephaniah chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. And the biblical Hebrew has more of a Western Shemitic. You know what I mean? So sometimes certain words, tomato, just use that as an English example of whether we say, some might say, believe, you believe. Others might say, you believe. Even we, the same person, might say at one time, believe, right? Believe me. Come on, please, believe me. You see what I said twice, two different ways. Believe me, as a schwa sound, and then I said it, believe me. I stretched out that E, the first E sound, right, as a long glide. You know what I'm saying? Like a chirik. So that's some of the nuances when it says that the Hebrew has a late Aramaic coloring, which I would say flavors, but in a sense it does have a flavor to the sound and tone, but it favors, looking at it from this point of view, a post-exilic date. And even a conservative scholar like Delitzsch, he concluded that it, quote, is composed after the Davidic model. Now, this is like to say for I and I, for the ones of the new name, the precious thing, Rastafari, and keeping it Levitical. All right? This is like when we say that some of the music is like roots, right? Or it might have, for example, some of the early Bob Marley and the Wailers music, right? Has, and the real, I won't say the real Bob Marley and Wailers music, but there's the influence of Lee Scratch Perry. As some of who are into music understand what I'm saying. So there's a certain school of music, and therefore, in the same way, this psalm is seen by some to have been composed after the Davidic model. Like there's certain roots and even reggae music that have a certain flavoring, and this is what it's pointing out here, looking at the language of today's daily psalm, composed after the Davidic model. They are like Davidic psalms, right? And is a counterpart to such psalms such as the XIX or Psalm 19, and to other Davidic psalms, right? Davidic and didactic. Didactic means like a teaching psalm, Timhertawi, Mizmor, or Zimrot, right? Psalms and chants and intonation. So that's just an overview right there of today's daily psalm. And to fly over the verses, right, and hopefully at the proper times, the Chabarim, twos and threes, or even I and I more collectively can get together and really go through maybe more of the fullness of some of these psalms that we just might touch on a couple of verses, the Aleph, Beit, Gimel, or the Abu Gis. We're going to touch on the Abu Gis. We might actually go Abu Gida Hewizo. That would be to the 7th or so verse, because today's daily psalm, verses 1 to 6, we have the Jah's omniscience, omniscience. So you see how that's said in it's the same word, but some pronunciation is omniscience. They'll say omniscience. It's almost being literal. Others might say, oh, no, that's not right, because they used to their way of saying it. They'll say omniscience, omniscience, omniscience. So verses 1 to 6, Jah's omniscience or omniscience, if you please, or we could say omniscientia, right, his all-knowing. Then we have verses 7 to 12, Jah's omnipresence. I think like the Gnostic said, like if you chop a piece of wood, you'll find I there. His omnipresence. Verses 13 to 18, Jah's wondrous work in human creation, in the iration of humanity, of man. Verses 19 to 24, we have a prayer against the wicked, right? A closing prayer against the ratchet, a prayer against the wicked. So today's daily psalm, the Qaf Lamed 8, has these sections to it, verses 1 to 6, Jah's omniscience, all-knowing. Verses 7 to 12, Jah's omnipresence, right? His being, his all-being. Literally, it's his all-being, right? His all-being, present, to be, right? He who be, who he be, right? Verses 13 to 18, Jah's wondrous work in the human creation, or the iration of humanity. The blameless irator, creator. And then in the closing prayer, or the prayer that closes today's daily psalm, is a prayer against the ratchet. Right, a prayer against the ratchet. Now, it's interesting right here, just in a summary right here, it says this section should be compared with Psalm CIV, Psalm 104, and they have verse 35, so it might be like verse 34, 35, KJV-wise, where after recounting the wonders of Ha-Elohim, of the true good, the true God, in the universe, the Einiverse, right, the psalmist prays. So first he recounting all the wonders of Jah creation, the iration, Elohim in the Einiverse, Melech HaOlam, right, and his creations. Then the psalmist and I prays, let sinners, let Akkers cease out of the earth. Let Akkers, the sinners, lackers, right, cease out of the earth, right? Akkers is the more, see, because of contrast. See, why is this? Because first he recounts, like as we have in Psalm 104, recounting the wonders of Jah's creation, his iration, right, which we should be thankful and grateful for. Then the psalmist and I praise that make the Akkers cease out of the earth, the sinners, Chatiatenyoch, right, the forfeiters, right, because, why? They are out of harmony. They are willfully and woefully out of harmony with his beautiful world, with his creation. But really they are out of harmony with his beautiful word, and therefore with his beautiful world and his creation, which was created in and through his word. So in this psalm, today's daily psalm, the Qaf Lamed 8, Psalm 139, the writer and I, it says feels here, but we perceive and we receive in spirit and in truth that Ha-Elohim, who has a minute and even infinitesimal, of a minute knowledge of each one of his family and his creations and his creatures, should not tolerate those who conduct their lives willingly and knowingly, woefully and willfully, contrary to his will, which points to the teaching of his majesty, the victory of good over evil, 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 evil.
And to the good, to the good, to the good, give praise. Yes, I am for the good.
Reggae vibes, yeah. It's time for Israel to praise their King, Almighty Elohim. We know that the times are changing. People don't lose your spiritual ways. It's time for Israel to praise their King. Knowing Yahweh is his name. Stop your evil and know him while we're living this way. Living this way. Deliver us from our enemies. Oh, Elohim will sit between the cherubims. Your praises is high in Zion high. Israel can't deny. It's time for Israel to hail their King. Knowing Yahweh is his name. Come on, people, let's show him. If your voice is insane, in Yahshua's name. It's time for the people to love themselves and repent from their dirty ways. Come on, my people, and show him. Lift your voices and sing in Yahshua's name. Israel praise his holy name. Oh, righteous people now, yeah. Give his holy name the praise. It's time for Israel to hail the King. Knowing Yahweh is his name. Come on, my people, and show lift your voices and sing. Praise his name. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's time for Israel to hail their King. Knowing Yahweh is his name. Come on, people, let's show him. If your voice is insane, in Yahshua's name.
And here we have the 12th sabbatical study as we completing here the first book of Moshe, known as Genesis, Bereshith, and here's the 6th aliyah right here. Yes, I give here right here. Look up on Psalm to come, forward. But here, the 6th aliyah, here for the 6th day of the Shabuah, here for the Sabbath Eve, here for the TJIF.
Genesis
Yes,
chapter 49. He had verse 27 for the Sheshi, for the 6th. Aliyah, the 6th reading, the 6th offering forward here for this Shabbat Wayachi, Sabbath, and he lived. Binyamin Zaiba Yitrafa Baboker
Yochal Ada Wila Ereva Yechaleka Shalal. Benjamin shall raven, a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. Binyamin Za'eva Yitarafa Baboker. Benjamin is a wolf that raveneth. Binyamin Za'eva Yitarafa Baboker. In the morning, Baboker. Yokal Ada Wila Ereva. Yechaleka Shalal. In the morning, Baboker, he devoureth the prey. Baboker Yokal Ada Wila Erev. And at evening, Wila Erev. Yechaleka Shalal. And at even he divideth the spoil. All these, the 12 tribes of Israel, and this, that their father spake to them, and blessed them, everyone according to his blessing, he blessed them. Kol ele shivtei Yisrael shneim asar, Wizot asher diber lahem avihem. Waya bareka otam isha asher kebirakato beraka otam. All these, kol eile, all these are the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes of Yisrael. Kol eile shivtei Yisrael. Shneim asar. And this with Zot, and this is it that their father spoke, that the father spake to them. With Zot asher diber lahem avihem, and bless them. Vayavarek otam. Every one according to his blessing. Ish asher kebirkato. Everyone according to his blessing, he bless them. Ish asher kebirkato berak otam. And he charged them. And he charged them and said to them, I am to be gathered to my people. Bury me, bury I with my fathers, with my patriarchs, in the cave that, in the field of Ephron the Hittite, in the cave that, in the field of Machpelah, which before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron the Hittite for a possession of a burying place. Waitzava otam, and he charged them. Waitzau otam, Wayomer, and said, Wayomer eleihem, and said to them, Ani ne safa il ammi. Ibruoti illa botaya illa hami'ara asher bi sedeya Ephron ha-Chiti. I am to be gathered to my people. Ani ne safa il ammi. Bury me, bury I with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite. Kivru oti illa evotaya illa hami'ara asher bi sedeya Ephron ha-Chiti. In the cave that is in the field of Machpelah. Ba mi'ara asher Bia Sideh Ha Machpelah, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre. Ba mi'ara asher Bia Sideh Ha Machpelah asher Allah Pene Mamre, in the land of Canaan, the land of Canaan, the Eretz Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field from Ephron the Hittite. Asher kana Abraham eta ha-sadeh me eta Ephron ha-Hitti, for a possession. La ichuzata kaver, for a possession of a burying place. They buried Abraham and Sarah, his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah, his wife. And there I buried Leah. Shamma Abrua et Abraham ve'eta Sarah ishto. Shama Abrua et Yitzhak ve'eta Rivka ishto. With Shama Kavartia et Leah. There they buried Abraham and Sarah, his wife, his Isha, Eshet, his Oset. Shama Kavrua et Abraham with Eta Sarah Ishto. Shama, they buried Isaac, Avrua et Yitzhak, and Rivka and Rebekah, his wife, with Eta Rivka Ishto, and Rebekah Ishto, his Eshet Oset, with Shama Kavarti Eta Leah, and Leah, with Shama Kavarti, I buried Eta Leah, I buried Leah. The purchase of the field and of the cave that therein from the children of Heth. Mikneh ha-sadeh with ha-mi'ara sharabau me'eta b'nei Chet. And when Yaakov had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed and yielded up the ghosts and was gathered to his people. Waikala Yaakov le saota eta banayo. Wayaye esofa raglayo. Ilaha mita. Wayayigawa. Wayaye asef. Ila amayo. And when Jacob made an end of charging his sons, Waikala Yaakov le'saot eta banayo, he gathered up his feet, Waye sofa raglayo, into the bed, Elahamita, and expired, Wayigwa, and expired and was gathered to his people. Waye asefa illa amay. And here, Shema Yisrael. Here, Gevil Yisrael. Here, first book of Moshe, Hebrew book called Genesis chapter 50. The burial of Yaakov, the burial of Jacob. And Joseph fell upon his father's face and wept upon him and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. And the physicians embalmed Israel, and the physicians embalmed Israel. And 40 days were fulfilled for him, for so are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 60 days. And the Egyptians mourned for him for 70 days. And when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spake to the house of Pharaoh, the great house, saying, If now I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, in the ears of Pharaoh, the great house, saying, My father made I swear, saying, Lo, look, I die. In my grave which I have digged for me, for I, in the land of Canaan, in the land of Canaan, there shalt thou, the I, bury me, bury I. Now, therefore, let me go up, let me aliyah, let me go up, I praise the I, and bury my father, and I will come again. And when the days of his mourning were past, Waya avru Yemea de Kito, Waya Davera Yosefa el Beta Paro Leimor. And when the days of weeping for him were past, Waya avru Yemei de Kito, Yosef spoke to the house of Paro, to the house of Pharaoh. Waya daver Yosef el beit Paro, saying, Lemor, if now I have found favor in your eyes, Imna matzati achein be'ainechem. If now I have found favor in y'all eyes, Imna matzati achein be'ainechem. Speak, I praise I. Davruna, speak, I praise I. Davruna, in the ears of Paro, in the ears of Pharaoh, in the ears of the great house. Davruna, Azne Pharaoh, saying, Lemor, Avi, Hisha bi'anni, Lemor, Hine Anochi mate, Be Kibriya Ashera Kariti Li, Be Eretza Knaan Shama, Tika Bereini, We Ata, Elena, We Ekabera Etavi, We Ashuva. My father made I swear, Avi, Hisha bi'ani, saying, Lemor, Hine, look, behold, Hine, Anoki, mate, lo, I die, Hine, Anoki, mate. In my grave, which I have digged for me in the land of Canaan, Bik Ivri Ashera Kariti Li, Be'eretza Canaan, there, Shama, there shalt thou, the I, bury me, there shalt I bury I, Shama, Tika Bereini. Now, therefore, let me make I go up, make I aliyah, wa'ata, elena. Now, therefore, make I go up, wa'ata, elena, and bury my father, where ekabera etavi, and I will come back, where Ashuva, and Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said, go up, aliyah up, and bury thy father, according as he made thee, the I, swear. Wayomer paro elei, ukvor etavika, ka'asher hishbi eika. Go up, elei, ascend, elei, go up, and bury thy father, elei, ukvor etavika, according as he made thee, I swear, ka'asher hishbi eika. And Yosef went up, aliyah up, to bury his father. And with him went up, aliyah up, all the servants of Paro, all the servants of the great house, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Mitzrayim, the land of Egypt, and all the house of Yosef, of Joseph, and his brethren, and his father's house. Only their little ones, and their flocks, and their herds, they left in the land of Goshen, in the land of Goshen, in the land of Hushan. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great company. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which beyond Yarden, Jordan. And there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, "This a grievous mourning for the Egyptians." Wherefore, the name of it was called Avel Mitzrayim, which beyond Yarden. Why Yoshev Haaretz HaKena'ani. And when the inhabitants of the land, HaKena'ani, the Canaanites, saw, Wayar Yoshev Haaretz HaKena'ani, Eta Ha'evela Begoren Ha'atad, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, in the threshing floor of Atad, Begoren Ha'atad, Wayomru, they said, Wayomru, and they said, Avel Kaved Ze Le Mitzrayim, this a grievous, heavy, honorable mourning to the Egyptians, for the Egyptians. Wayomru, and they said, Avel Kaved, Avel Kaved Ze Le Mitzrayim. This is a grievous, heavy mourning for the Egyptians. Avel Kaved Ze Le Mitzrayim. Al Kain. Wherefore, Al Kain, therefore, Al Kain Kara Shemaha Avel Mitzrayim Asher Be'eber HaYarden. Wherefore the name of it was called Avel Mitzrayim, which is beyond the Jordan. Asher Be'eber HaYarden. And his sons did to him according as he commanded them. For his sons carried him into the land of Canaan, the land of Canaan, and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham bought with the field for a possession of a burying place of Ephron, Ha-Hitti, the Hittite, before Mamre. And Joseph returned to Mitzrayim, to Egypt, he and his brethren, and all that went up, all that allied up with him to bury his father, after he had buried his father. And here at verse 15, the fear of Joseph's brethren, verse 15. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will perhaps hate us, hate I, and will certainly requite I and I, all the evil which I and I did to him. Wayiru ache Yosef ki mei tavihem. And when Joseph's brothers saw, Wayiru ache Yosef, and when ache Yosef, when the brethren of Joseph's brethren, Wayiru, when they saw, Wayiru ache Yosef ki mei tavihem. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, Wayomru, they said, Lu Isa mitenu Yosef, where Hasheva Yashiva lanu, Eitakola Hara'aha Hasher Gamalnu Oto. It may be Lu. It may be that Yosef will hate us, will hate I and I. Lu Yisa Mitenu Yosef, and will fully requite us with Hashiv, Yashiv, Lanu, all the evil which I and I did to him. Where Hashiva Yashiva Lanu Etakol Hara'a Asher Gamalnu Oto. And they sent a message. And they sent a messenger to Joseph saying, thy father did command before he died, saying, so shall ye all say to Joseph, forgive, I pray I now, the trespass of thy brethren, and their sin, and their uckery, for they did to thee evil. And now, I pray I, forgive the trespass of the servants of the Elohim, the true good, the true God of thy father. And Yosef and Joseph wept when they spake to him. And they sent a messenger. Wayaz awua illa Yosefa lemor. They sent a message to Joseph saying, Wayaz awua illa Yosefa lemor. Avika siwa lifnei amoto lemor. Thy father, Avika, thy father did command before he died, Avika, Tziwa, Lifnei Amoto, saying, Lemor, Koh, Tomru, Le Yosef, Hanna, Sana, Pesha'a, Acheka, where Achat Atam, Ki Ra'ah, Gemaluka, Wa'ata sana lepesha'a avde Elohe avika. Waya yedika Yosefa de Davram alayo. And he sent a messenger to Joseph, a messenger to Joseph saying, thy father did command before he died, saying, so shall ye all say to Joseph, Koh Tomru, li Yosef. So shall y'all say to Joseph, Koh Tomru, li Yosef. Forgive, I pray I now. Anna, sana. Forgive, I pray I now. Anna, sana. Pesha'a, acheka. The transgression, the rebellion, the pesha, acheka. Of thy brethren, where chatatam, and their sin and their uckery, where chatatam, ki ra'a gemaluka, for that they did to the eye evil, ki ra'aha gemaluka. And now, we'ata, and now we praise I forgive. We'ata sana, forgive now and now. We'ata sana lefesha'a avde Elohe avika. And now we praise I forgive sana, forgive the fesha, the transgression, the rebellion of the servants of the Elohim of thy father. We'ata sana lifasha'a avde Elohe avika. And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. Why yedika Yosefa be Davram elayo. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face. And they said, behold, look, see, I, thy servants, Wayalku Gam Echayo, Wayipulu Alifanayo. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face. Wayomru. And they said, Hinenu leka le'avadim. Behold, we are thy bondmen. Hinenu leka la'evadim. Hinenu leka la'evadim. Behold, we, I and I, are thy servants. Hinenu, look, see, here it is. Leka, for the eye, la'evadim. We are the I bondmen. And Joseph said to them, fear not, for I in the place of Elohim, Vayomer Eleihem Yosef, Ala tirau, ki yahatachata Elohim ani. And Joseph said, fear not, Ala tirau, al tirau, fear y'all not, al tirau, ki yahatachata Elohim ani. Am I in the place of Elohim? Ki yahatachata Elohim ani. But as for y'all, ye thought evil. Y'all thought evil against me, against I. But Elohim, the true good, the true God, meant it to good, to bring to pass as this day, to save much people alive, to save enough people alive. Ve'atem cheshavtem alai ra'a. Elohim cheshavaha le'torah le'ma'ana esoa kayom hazeh le'hachiyota rav. And as for you all, we'atem. As for you all, y'all thought it, y'all meant evil against me. We'atem. Cheshavtem alai ra'a. But Elohim, the true good, the true God, meant it for good. Elohim cheshavaha le'torah, to bring to pass. Le'ma'ana eso kayom, as it is this day. Kayom hazeh, as it is this day. Kayom hazeh le'hachiyot rav, to save much, to save enough people alive.
And that is being a brother's keeper, ain't it? Yes, I, Rastafari, here.
Must unite.
yeah. Yes, 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 brother's keeper, for the sake of the children. Dark skin and light skin must unite. No colorism, schism, yeah. Right there, Israel vibration with brother's keeper. Here, let's ride up with this psalm. It's interesting. It's interesting. Joseph's brothers, after the father's dead, they said, oh yeah, we remember the father told us to go and like to apologize to you, you know. It's interesting because they said that, you know, how Joseph, you know, may hate them, but in the Hebrew, actually, it meant that he will be an adversary, like a Satan, like he'll be an adversary to them. But it's curious that the brothers, you know, all this time they're carrying this kind of guiltiness on their conscience, and then they say, like, yeah, Pops did tell us to go apologize to you. Interesting how, you know, it mirrors a lot of times reality. But here, let's ride up right here. Shabbat Shalom, send that salam.
Thank Jah, Rastafari.
Jump! Rastafari. Jump! Rastafari. Jump! Rastafari.
Yay, 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 yay.
Here, today's daily psalm, Hebrew, double eyes right here. Before we get into a couple of verses, get side.
מזמור קל"ט למנצח לדוד מזמור. אדוני חקרתני ותדע, אתה ידעת שבטי וקומי, בנת לרעי מרחוק, אורחי ורבעי זרית, וכל דרכי הסכמת, כי אין מילה בלשוני, אין אדוני ידעת כחולה. אחור וקדם צרתני, ותשת עלי כפיך, פליאה דעת ממני, נשגבה לא אוכל לה. אנא אלך מרוחך, ואנה מפניך אברח. אם אשק שמים שם אתה, ואציע שאול הנקה. אשא חנפי שחר, אשכנה באחרית ים, גם שם ידך תנחני, ותוחזני ימיניך. ואומר, אך חושך ישופני, ולילה אור בעדני. גם חושך לא יחשיך ממכה, ולילה כיום יאיר, כחשיכה כאורה. כי אתה קנית חיליותי, תסוכני בבטן אמי. עודך על כנוראות נפלאתי, נפלאים מעשיך, ונפשי יודעת מאוד. לא נכחד עוצמי ממכה, אשר עושתי בסתר, רוקמתי בתחתיות ארץ. גולמי ראו עיניך, ועל ספרך כולם יכתבו, ימים יוצרו, ולא אחד בהם. ולי מה יכרו רעיך אל, מה עצמו ראשיהם, אספרם מחול ירבון, הקיצותי ועודי עמך. אם תקטול אלוה הרשע, ואנשי דמים סורו מני, אשר יאמרוך למזימה, נסו לשווא עריך. הלא משנאיך אדוני אשנא, ובתקוממך את קוטט. תכלית שנאה שנאתים, לאויבים היו לי. חוקרני אל ודע לבבי, בחנני ודע צר אפי, וראה אם דרך עוצב בי, ונחני בדרך עולם.
So today's daily psalm, Jah's omniscience and omnipresence. Psalm Kof Lamed 8, Psalm CXXXIX, Psalm 139. First section, verses 1 to 6, Jah's omniscience, omniscience. Verses 7 to 12, Jah's omnipresence. Verses 13 to 18, Jah's wondrous work in human creation. And verses 19 to 24, the prayer against the wicked, the prayer against the ratchet. So today's daily psalm has these 4 sections, verses 1 to 6, concerning Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God's omniscience, omniscience. Science, just let's be reminded, the word science from scientia, or more correctly, scientia, means gnosis, his all-knowing. Omnipresence is the second section, verses 7 to 12. Third section, Elohim's wondrous work in human creation. And finally, verses 19 to 24, the prayer against the wicked. So taking the first section first 6 verses. La menatzeah le Dawid mizmor. Yehovah chekaretani wateda. Oh, Yod-Heh, Weh-Heh, He who be, we be, Thou hast searched me. Yehovah chekaretani wateda. Thou hast searched me. Really, for real, my heart. We have verse 23 in today's daily psalm, according to the royal order, Psalm 139. This idea of thou hast searched me, thou hast searched I. We have the word hakar, search, to search for, to search out, to examine, to investigate. In the sense of the primitive root, properly to penetrate. Chakar, chekaretani, Yahuwah chekaretani, wateda, wateda, and known. Search that. Jeremiah chapter 17 and 10 also brings out this idea that he who be, Yod-Heh, Weh-Heh, chekaretani, you have searched me, examine me intimately, to find out, to make a search, seek out, to make sound, to try. You have tried, thou hast searched me. Wateda, and known. The translator translates and known me. The object me is not in the Hebrew, and is probably to be understood as all that is in my heart, my thought, my center, my thoughts and my feelings, my heart. Hebraically, the heart, the seat of the thought and the feeling. For the Aleph verse, the Beit verse, Ata yada'ita, shivati, with umi, banta li ra'i, me rachok. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. Ata yadaita, shivati umi. You know my down sitting, my sitting down and my rising up. Shivati, with umi, and my rising up. Banta le rei.
Thou understandest. Thou understandest my thought. Banita le ra'i. Me rahok. Me rahok. From far. Me rahok. Thou understandest my thought, my purpose, my aim. Ra'i. Li ra'i. Li ra'i me rahok. My raya. My raya. My purpose, my aim, my thought. A thought as association of ideas from the raya. From the idea, even from re'ah to pasture, to tend, to graze, to shepherd, to shepherd, to shepherd, to shepherd. Thou, the I, the pronoun, the subject, ata, ata, yadaita, ata, yadaita, ata, ante, the I male, the subject, the Hebrew pronoun is emphasized. Thou, the I only, ata, being omniscient, can't have such intimate knowledge of I. Down sitting and uprising, this parallelism, all activities of my life. Shivati wikumi, Shivati, my yashab, sheb, my sitting. Shivati wikumi, and my uprising, all the activities. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7, my thought. Only again we have this particular word in verse 17. It's an Aramaic word, an Eastern Semitic word, meaning inclination and wish, the reya, Aramaically speaking, the reya. So we have li ra'i, banna, to understand, bannata, li ra'i, me rahok, me from rahok, from far. So we have this word right here, my thought. As was mentioned in the introduction, the Hebrew has a late Aramaic coloring, which favors and also gives it a certain flavor, but it favors a post-exilic, after the exile date. Afar, from afar, me rahok, ruk, and Amharic ruk, from the older Shemitic rahok, me rahok, from far. Also in Psalm 138, around about verse 6, the Gimel verse. Archi with ribai zireta wikola derakai hiya sekanta. Thou measurest my going about and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. Listen to Sefer Tehillim, here the King James KJV for the third verse, translates it as, Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways, Measureth or compasseth, measureth. Zara, to scatter, to fan, to disperse. Zara, to toss about, by implication, to diffuse, to winnow, to cast away, to compass in the sense of to disperse, to fan, to scatter away, to spread, to strew, to winnow. In that sense of measureth, the sense is obtained by connecting the verb with zeret, a span. It is, however, to be connected with the common verb meaning to winnow or to sift, and should be translated a little more better as thou siftest, i.e., in us, thou submit to a minute scrutiny, to sift, to winnow,
to winnow, like when one has rice or another grain and, sift through it, in that sense. Thou measurest. So the sense of archi, with zidbahi, with ribai, slika, with ribai, zereta, going about, my path, we'll call derakai, and all derakai, all my derek, my way, my path, my derakai, my path. This word and its contrast of lying down in combination also signifies the daily activities of a person's life, the daily activities of a person's life. The ways, the going about, my path, the ways, the dealing with one's fellows. Now this is used of High Elohim in Psalm 138, around about verse 5. So here we have the Dalet verse in the first section concerning Jah's omniscience, his omniscience, scientia, all knowing. Verse 4, according to KJV, for there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Now this is my italicized. We like to draw those out in another reading. For not a word in my tongue. Lo, look, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Ki ein milah bi lishoni hein Yahuwah yada'ita kulla. Yada'ita kulla. Now knowest it kulla altogether. Yada'ita kulla. There, for there, ki ein, for there is not. Ki ein, ki for ein, nothing, it's not. Ki ein milah, a word, bi lishoni, milah. Now again we have this word milah, also another Aramaicism, another Eastern Shemiticism, milah, a word, a speech, a utterance, milah, mile, some pointing milah, word, a discourse, figuratively a topic, an answer, a byword, a matter, anything, what to say, speaking, to speak, talk, a word. So we have milah, another Aramaicism here. Now, according to the translation, the meaning is that Elohim, the true God, the true good, knows the real intention behind the spoken word when it is used to conceal thought. An alternative rendering is and could be, quote, for a word is not yet in my tongue, but lo, look, etc. So the opening part, rather, for a word is not yet in my tongue, but lo, hein, Yahuwah, yada'ita kulla, but thou knowest it all together. Elohim is aware of the thought to be expressed before even it is put into words. The Hay verse, the fifth verse, thou hast hemmed me in behind and before and laid thy hand upon I. KJV reads, thou hast beset, instead of hem, thou hast beset me behind and before and laid thine hand upon me. Ahora with Adam Saratani wa tasheta alai kapeka thy hand kapeka alai kapeka. It's interesting, the hand here is almost like an open hand, but we'll get to that just in a moment. The hand, hem me in. It is the verb to describe laying siege to a city. The word here, sor. Sor means to bind. Sor means to besiege. Sor means to confine. Sor means to cramp. When we say cramp, cripple, and paralyze every weak heart conception, wipe it out of creation. To cramp, that is to confine. It may be used in many apps, many applications, in a literal sense, a figurative sense, a formative sense, or a hostile sense. Can be used of an adversary, an assault, to beset, to besiege, to bind, or to bind up, to cast, to distress. Another sense of to fashion, to fortify, to enclose, to lay siege, and also to put in bags. But the basic sense is to cramp and to confine. To cramp and to confine. So we have this here in the first part of the verse. Ahor, behind, wa kedem. Ahor wa kedem. Behind, ahor wa kedem. And kedem, and before. Faritani. Fartani, you cramp on. You cramp on behind, and you cramp on from before. With tasheta alaya kapeka, lay thine hand upon me, grasp me, and I can't get away. Verse 10 also brings this idea out as well. Take note, take note, take note. So we have this fifth verse here, and the word kaf is the palm of the hand. Kapeka, alai, put upon I, wa tasheta alaya kapeka, your palm. The hand, also the soul, the palm of the hand, which is the hollow of the hand, or the flat part of the hand. So when we say yad, the yad is almost like a fist in that sense. The right hand like a fist, while the kaf or the kapeh is like the open hand. It's like the open hand, right? The open hand in that sense. The paw of an animal, the sole of the foot, the bowl of a dish or a sling, the handle of a boat, the leaves of the palm tree. This is all that idea, but in a figurative sense, it is power. But it also has a meaning of a branch, as it were. So we have these senses of the eye hand, the palm of thy hand, or in the lion sense, the paw, which is the power, or in the sense of the part of the hand that it is. It's like the sole of the foot. Having the sense of the spoon, that hollow part, have laid thy hollow part upon, over and against I. Moving on to the wow, or the vav, some say. We say wow verse, the Wowway verse, the wow verse, the sixth verse. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain to it. KJV reading. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too high. Too high. The Sefer Tehillim says too high. KJV says it is high. Too high. I cannot attain to it. I cannot attain to it. Plie da'ata mimeni. Nisigava. I have to, repoint it. Nisigava. Lo ukalah. Plie da'at mimeni. Nisigava. Lo ukalah. Such knowledge, da'at. Such knowledge, plie, is too wonderful. Plie, da'at. Mimeni, from I. It's too high it is. I cannot attain. Such knowledge which Elohim possesses of him and of I and I, as of every individual, too wonderful, it's beyond I and I comprehension. There's an interesting word that we see right here. Let's just take a look. Okay, we have Pali, because it's interesting the pointing right here. Pali and Pali. Pali, Pali. Fali, Fali, Pali, Pali. Wonderful, incomprehensible, remarkable, even in the sense of secret from Pala, 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 to be marvelous, to be wonderful. Also that word Hebraically coming down to the sense of miracle or miracle. It is too high, sagab, 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 nisegava, nisegaba, nisegava. Is too high, sagab, high, inaccessibly high, high, high. Cannot attain. Let's bring that word out right here. Yakol. It's an interesting little pun because we have akal to eat, ukal in the sense, but here it's not the akal or ukal, it's lo ukal in the sense of yakol. Yakol or yakul means to prevail, to overcome, to endure, to have power. But from the primitive sense, the basic sense, to be able, like when one says I can or I could, or in a moral sense, I may or I might. This is too great for I. It's beyond my ability. So we have the first section here speaking of Elohim's omniscience. Omniscience is all knowing. And picking up the next section, verses 7 to 12, John's omnipresence, presence. This psalm will go into more details elsewhere. So if ones seek to hear full kind of a breakdown.
Yes. Here the second section of today's daily psalm, Psalm 139, right here, picking up with the seventh verse Hebraically. Today's daily psalm.
Shalom, Chabarim, shalom. Today's daily
psalm.
This psalm is going
Shabbat
into more
shalom,
details
salam,
elsewhere.
stand
So
by,
if
stand
seek
by.
to hear full kind of a breakdown and a build on today's daily psalm, the Kofalamet 8 psalm, that is available, and we're going to seek to also, have some platform Rasta Hebrew man psalms, getting into more of the details. But today's daily psalm and some of the psalms in the season, I'm noticing, just in this season here, at the end of the Western Gentile year, right here, looking at the psalm as it is within the reading and feeding, right, in the correspondence calendar, right, or the correspondence calculation of the different calendars here for the 29th of December. 2018, all right, 2018, also corresponding with this Rastafari sabbatical study, this Shabbat Strong, the first reading from the second book of Moses, the book of Exodus, the Sefer Shemot, the book of the names, or it is also known rabbinically as the Sefer Yetziat, right? Yetziat Mitzrayim. Yetziat. It's interesting right there. Yetziat Mitzrayim. In Ethiopically, we call the book the Orit Zetzeat. Yetziat, coming out, right, from Mitzrayim, coming out from Egypt, or Mizraim, right, from the valley of denial, in the valley of decision, in the valley of the dry bones, in the valley of the dead, coming out of Babylon. Right, come out of her, my people. And something else I noticed about the Psalms in this season right here, as we are in the 13th Torah portion reading and feeding right here, and also Hanukkah has proceeded, and also with the so-called winter solstice, right, and prophetically, and also in the tribe, the signs and the time, looking at the signs and the time. Notice that many of the Psalms, in their usage, especially as we have it recorded in the Sefer Shemush Tehillim, in the use of the Psalms, sometimes published in the 6th and 7th book of Moses, And also sometimes in religious stores, like the Secret of the Psalm book, sometimes they might crop and edit, more or less from this particular document. I notice that many of the Psalms have as a usage promoting harmony and peace and oneness, right, and that unity as a unit amongst couples. In other words, promoting the unity, right, so the couple, the two, right, the male and the female, the Zakar Nekeva may be one. Right, according to Yahweh, Truth and Life. And that's interesting that many of them have their kind of marital man and woman or man and wife, Ish and Eshet or Isha relationship. And today's daily Psalm 139 is no different. And I just noticed that, and I don't know if others have noticed that as well in the season, that some of the inner meaning of them is seeking to promote oneness, right? Oneness between Christ, right, we could say the Ish and his church and the Eshet or the Eshet, right? So this Psalm, 139, the Kaf Lamed 8 Psalm, right, it says here, right here, it's just brief, very brief. It's this Psalm, it says, should be prayed to increase and preserve love among married people. This Mizmur, right, this chant, this intonation, this Isis, this Psalm, we need to understand what's the differences and the similarity between a psalm, P-S-A-L-M, a chant, an intonation, a mizmor or mezmor, and a song. What's the difference between a psalm and a song, a mizmor and a shir? But this mizmor, this chant, should be prayed to increase and preserve love among married people. And that is the use, right? That's one of the suggested and recommended usage, according to the Sefer Shemush Tehillim, the use of the Psalms of today's daily Psalm. Now, today's daily Psalm, just a couple of testimony, a couple of words, because I'd like to ride up with the royal and hearken for a fuller folk. We've gone through the Hebrew on today's daily Psalm and would like to go through it again, but because of tonight's broadcast, and, for what the reason for what the gathering, and I know what this gathering's for. So this gathering's for, the Aliyah, for the first reading from the second book of Moshe, my Exodus, Shemot. But here, right here, and looking at today's daily Psalm, I have to just testify right here that this Psalm is one particular Psalm that I can testify has, because of receptivity in spirit and in truth, of the word sound, really impacted I not just understanding, yes, our understanding, but also our understanding, and brought us to an overstanding, to a higher height, right, in the innermost of the innocence, in that chapel, in that sanctuary, in the holy place, right, as the Messiah says, go within the closet, in the still, and be still and know. And looking over this psalm right here, I'd just like to zoom in on a couple of the verses, right, one particular verse in this psalm, the first verse I'd like to touch on right here, just as a kind of a little testimony. This psalm speaks on the omniscience and omnipresence. Omniscience, as we already just touched on, omniscience, science, scientia, in Old Latin, in original Latin, it wasn't pronounced scientia, it was pronounced scientia. In Old Latin, it wasn't, pronounced vini, vidi, viki, vini, vidi, viki. It was pronounced winnie, weedy, wiki. But from the way it's pronounced in the later, we get words like video, vidi, I came, I saw, I conquered. Vini, vidi, viki. But in Old Latin, it was winnie, weedy, wiki, like Wikipedia. Okay? You could go and check that out more for yourself right there. Conquer, what did they Pedia? What are they conquering there? Anyway, today's daily psalm speaks about John's all-knowing, right? His all-knowledge, omniscience, and omnipresence. The first 6 verses speaks on John's omniscience, his all-knowing. Then the verses 7 to 12 speaks on John's omnipresence. Now, why is this important? Well, let's look at verses 7 to 12 for a moment. This is where I'm going to zoom in right here, as a kind of a rhema right now word for the item ear. It says, whither shall I go from thy spirit? Where shall I go from the I spirit, from he who be who he be's spirit, from the spirit of truth? Where can you flee from the spirit of truth? Where? And so he says, where shall I go? Where shall I go? Anaelek.
meyarucheka, Ana, miapaneka, from your face, mipaneka, evrach, to flee. Should I flee? Where shall I flee? V'ana mipaneka, evrach. Where shall I flee from your, where should I go from your, where shall I go? Ana eleka me rucheka. Flika, me rucheka. Because it's interesting in the beginning of the psalm when it says that you knowest my thoughts. You knowest my thoughts from afar. Just the word sound right there. Me rachok. Rachok in the Hebrew, and then hark ruk, far, from far. And so there's a little pun in the words as well. So here in the Zayn verse, or the Zayn verse, 7th verse, it says, Ana elech. Where can I go? Where should I go? Where I go? Ana elech. Meyarucheka. Ana elech. Where I go? May from rucheka, ruach. From the eyes, ruach, spirit. Meyarucheka. Wa'ana, some say v'ana, but we say wa'ana, miyapaneka evrach, to flee, keep running away, but you can't run away from yourself. This is what the psalm is stating here, as it's a psalm of pure, contemplative, they say theism. We say Elohim, Ha-Elohim, right? Theism, not to get all caught up on the ism and schism, but to understand it in its, relative usage, right? So there's this verse, the 7th verse. Then we have the 8th verse, the 8th verse. If I ascend up. If I aliyah, ascend up into heaven, thou, they are. Now it says in KJV, thou, and then has art, they are. But if we read it as I've been recommending to the brothers and the sisters and the Chabarim, also to read it without the italicization. In the studies, the Hebrew, it brings out the force. If I ascend up into heaven, the I, they are. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou, the I. Behold, the I. While KJV says, art there. But then you see that that's italicized. He says, im esak. If, if, esak, if I ascend, esak, if I ascend. Now, it doesn't have the word aliyah in that sense, so we get into the details. But here he says, esak, ashamayim, sham, ata, there is the I, male. If I ascend up into shamayim, you get the pun right there, even not the pun, but the emphasis, the Hebraicism, right? Shamata, with Atzia, Shol, Hineka, here, the eye. Literally, it's like here, like here is the eye, like Hine, behold, ka, the eye. Shamata, where Atzia, Shiola, Hineka, there, and the I be there. Alright, this is the next verse in this section that speaks on his omnipresence, he who be, who he be, his presence. So that means his presence. See, take heed to how you hear the word. When we say presence and perception, how do you hear this word about presence and perception? How do you see this word, presence and perception? All right, you are there. He is present. In what sense do you see he is present? Are you looking for like a kind of a flesh or blood manifestation or something to be seen, like with a physical fight? Or are we looking at the spirit and the perception, the presence, to be in that presence of mind as Moshiach, right, has revealed to the apostles? Let this mind be in the I, as the mind that's in he, right, who is Rabboni, Adoni, right? Let this mind, because if the mind is there, behold, Hineka, even in Sheol. Now this verse right here really caught my medi.
and this is like some years ago, maybe more than even a decade ago, but this verse right here, like I read it, first you read it and like, okay, kind of like in a religious, not religious, but in a kind of, devotional sense, a devotional spirit, so to speak. But then it's like the Word, the Holy Spirit brought that to I. This is why being born again, receiving the Holy Spirit, it's like the Lord spoke once, this I have heard twice, bringing that to your understanding again, and it became perceptible. Let me put that word right there. His presence became perceptible, even through this verse right here. If I ascend into heaven, right? Because some people are trying to running away. They're trying to, go to another planet, get off of the earthly plane and go somewhere else. They're trying to get away, go to Mars, go to some other, whatever, dimension or something like that. All right, but he's there. He's going to be there. When you get there, you're going to say, Sham Ata. The I is there. Sham, right? Yimesaka Shamaim. Shamata We'atzi'ah Shiol Hineka. If I should ascend into the heaven, if I should go down. Now this word Atzia, it is like, it's like to make my bed, right? To make my bed. More literally the phrase, make my bed in the netherworld. Make Sheol my couch. He's saying, like, if I make Sheol, now what is Sheol? Wow. Where do we begin with Sheol? Like in ancient Egypt, now, interesting where we're at in this Torah portion I mentioned before, on a certain level, for the sabbatical study sake, we get into a little bit of, I'm going to say, what we call it, we refer Egyptology. Kemetism, we don't really know what that is. It's Negro reinvention of something while not having a grasp of the essential, right? Mainly the linguistics. See, that's the key. This is where the Hebrew becomes the key of that as well. But we'll leave that for another reason there. Sheol, one sense of Sheol, right, in the new and the living way of Rastafari, of I, is the anti-repatriation state, is being anti-returning to the Father. That's hell. That's hell. That there is hell, right? And when we start look at these basic principles of when we say you got to forgive your mother, right? So what do you mean by that? Forgive your mother, and you have the spirit of your mother. I mean, this is why you have that anger. And one's not understanding that first, right? And then even the gospel of Jesus Christ, or Jesus Christ, about the Father. He was testifying of the Father. Even when that woman had said, blessed be the paps, the titties, the breastises, right, that gave you suck in the womb, that birthed you. What did Yeshua say? He was like, moreover, blessed are those who hear the word of Elohim, Ha'ab, right, the Father, and do it. Right, and we see what is going on down in the valley, down in the Nile. Right, that divide and conquer and to kill the male seed, the child, and save the girl children alive, and the single mama dramas. That's what's going on, the shitstorm of things. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have responsibility for our own choice, but if you only have bad and worse and can't really discern, you might want better, but you choose worse. If I should go down into Hades, this is how the Septuagint, right, brings it out, into Hadin, Eana katabo aistona Hadin, pare, you are at hand, pare, you're there, hineka, you are there. So I thought about this. I was like, Sharon, how is he there? All right, and I get into no spookism, but he is there because I am preserved and sustained by his spark, the spirit of his life, a part spark of his. In other words, it's the, how can we say, we only have internet and technology because you have like a signal, right? And because you have like a signal, you can be on that bandwidth, that wavelength, and you can do whatever. Like once you have internet, connection, you can go here, you can go there, you can search this, you can search that, but you need to have that connection. See, that is the spark of the spirit that is in the innermost of each of I and I innocence, whether good or bad, right? Whether it's angel or whether it's devil or fallen angel, all right? Because he is the blameless creator. He is the creator. He is the source, all right? And then I recognize that, well, his presence, when you start to recognize his presence, right now, in that sense, from negative to positive, because some might be seeing this in a negative kind of way of seeing it, to the positive, that means even in the worst situations you are in, people feel like, I'm all alone, there's nobody here. Oh, my God, what can I do? He's there. He is there. He's there. He's there.
He's there. And this verse here, this Medi, hopefully I could testify a little bit better, in the, another time. But going over today's daily psalm, whither shall I go? Where could I go if I desire to remove myself from the sphere, from the cipher of the eye's influence? Where can I go? Where? Anaelek. Meya rucheka, from your spirit, the eye spirit, rucheka. Elohim as active in the world. We have Genesis 1 and 2, right? First book of Moshe, Hebrew book of Genesis, right? The Sefer Bereshit, right? The spirit of Elohim hovered over the face of the waters. Thy presence. See, the paneka, the face. Thy presence. Wana mi paneka evrach. Evrach, like where can I evrach? Where can I flee? Me or me paneka, me from paneka, faneka, from the eyes panim, from the eyes face, from the eyes presence, which fills the universe, the universe, and manifests his relationship with human beings. Now, the thought and the language that we have in this 8th verse, you can see the prophet Isaiah. Amos. Well, it's in the prophets, but Amos right here, Amos 9 and 2. We have Amos 9 and 2. Now, we often quote, ye not as the children of the Ethiopians from Amos, because, that verse right there, people say, oh, you quoted that verse because it's a feel-good verse. Yeah? So what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? Ye must be born again, so you can see it a better way, right? And understand that, that these words, right, are also a protection for mind, right? That protection for the mind, protection for the truth of heart and mind, right? It's the truth. I mean, you repeat the lies, right? And then after a while you try to make the lies true, and you make the lies real because the lies are stealing your life. I don't think you hear me. Anyway, for the thought and language, Amos 9 and 2, where it says, though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence, in other words, they will I bring them down. All right, so we have this connection with Psalm 139, today's daily Psalm, verse 8, here in Amos chapter 9, verse 2. Though they dig into hell, Sheol, the anti-repatriation state, thence they shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence they will I bring them down. Will they be brought down? So that's part of the language right there. And then we also have the language found in Job. In Job, what is that, XVII? That is Job 17 and 13. Now, even myself sometimes have to take the time and, okay, well, what's this Roman stuff? But conquer it, don't let it conquer you. Right? 17, rule thou in the midst of your enemies. Your enemies, okay. Verse 13, we have, if I wait, the grave is mine house. Job chapter 17, make sure I have the right section in Job chapter 17, verse 13. If I wait, the grave is mine house. If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in darkness. This is Job's fourth answer here, Job, in chapter 17. And that also has a direct connection with today's daily psalm here in 139 and 8. Ascend. Now, as we mentioned with the word where it says the phrase like im, if, esak. Esak is Aramaic, is Eastern Shemitic for the sense of going up or climbing up in the sense of going up. So the common Aramaic word or verb for going up, this is where we get the esak, right? Asak, right? Esak. Im, esak, shamayim. Sham, ata, you are there. If I make my bed in the nether world, right? Behold, thou art there. As we mentioned, the language is like making Sheol, making this anti-repatriation, being far from the father, your bed, your couch. Where art thea, Sheol hineka, right? Where art thea, Sheol hineka. If I make my bed in the netherworld, Sheol, or like the Da'at, what do they call it? No, they call it ancient, the Du'at. Da'at is knowledge in the Hebrew, but Du'at or the Tu'at in ancient Egypt, that's the underworld, the so-called underworld, right? Or the subconscious, right?
the nightmare part of one's psyche. Anyway, the language, it passes from one extreme of space and time to the other. So now this is one particular verse right here that we just point out, right, these verses here, and this is in the section of the omnipresence. Right, just zooming in on a couple of points of interest verses right here in today's daily psalm. Yes, we're going to ride up, Sometimes just zooming in on a couple of key words kind of helps like an anchor, right? A couple of anchor verses, right? The first two verses, of course, the opening is a very good anchor as well, but we're just pointing to some examples here, for the present, the present and the presence right here. Because now, just looking at the first couple of verses, I kind of zoomed ahead, right? And let's just touch on the first, the Aleph Beit, right? The Aleph Beit right here of today's daily psalm, right? I know this is a little different than before, but just following the inspiration at this time, right? Seeking to be in the Ivine, the divine mind, right? So those verses 7 and 8, just brought a lot of peace. You there. And I recognize that was because of the presence of mind, right? Let this mind be in you, right? So that the outer situations and mix-up moods, attitudes, he's there, right? And this too, right, will pass, especially when it is a crisis or a situation, making the bed in hell, so to speak, right? We have La Menatzeyah Le Dawid Mizmor, right? For the chief musician, for the leader, La Menatzeyah Le Dawid Mizmor, Yahuwah Hakartani, Wa Teda. So we have Hakartani or Hakartani. You tried, you search, I and I. Thou hast searched I and I. KJV says, O Lord, Yahuwah, he who be, who he be. Chikartani, Yahuwah Chikartani, Watada. I've said it like that before. That's what it is. It's like tada, and known. Right? You have searched I. You've searched I, right? Hebraically speaking right here, wateda, and known, right? You've searched I and known, and know I, and you, literally in the Hebrew, wa and teda, da'a, from yada to know, teda, you, males, I, know, and you know. It doesn't say you know I. If you notice in the KJV, the me there is italicized. The me there is italicized. So more directly, it would be, O Lord, thou hast searched me. Chikaritani, Adonai, chikaritani, wateda, and known. You searched I and known. Really, you have searched I. You searched I. My heart, my innermost of the innocence, my center, right? We also have this as well in verse 23 of today's daily psalm. Looking at, just scrolling ahead, right, at verse 23. Search me, O Elohim, and know my heart. Try I and know my thoughts. Search me, O Elohim. Hakreini, as a command now in a sense. Hakreini. Wida or vida. Right? Slika, where we? Okay, that's the second line. Slika. Hakreini el. El, Hayel, El of Elohim, the El, the true source, the true God. Hakreini el. Wida, to know. And know. Levavi, and no levavi, wida levavi, hakreini el, wida levavi, and know my heart, bichaneni, try I, bichaneni, wida, and know. Sara'afai, and know my thoughts. Search me. See, at the fulfillment of the psalm is the prayer against the wicked.
Continue that idea of Psalm 104, around about 35, where after recounting the wonders of God's creation in the universe, he and I pray that make the uckers, the sinners, cease out of the earth. And then he says these words here, and he says, well, search I, because his and I abhorrence of the righteous and the wicked and their ways, it induces in the fulfillment of today's daily psalm the prayer for scrutiny by Elohim, by Jah, by El, right, by Ha'el, that any imperfections brought to light may be corrected. We have a similar prayer as well in the 26th Psalm, around about verse 2, verse 1, verse 2, and via its purpose is specified, the thoughts. The thoughts is an interesting word, the thoughts that we have in verse 23, because we're starting at the Alpha Omega. We're Alpha and Omega in today's daily psalm right here. Search me, O El, not Elohim here, but El and the Ethiopic, the Ha'el, like Haile Selassie, El, God, source, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. Know my dividing, distracting thoughts. So the word Sarapai. Also, we have more of the Aramaic flavoring there. We have this word like dividing, distracting thoughts. Right, so just note that. It's not just thoughts like I'm thinking, but here's where thoughts is in a negative sense. Right, here's where ones like JLP, Jesse Lee Peterson, talk about all thoughts are evil. Coming from an English perspective, I can see how I can see it like that, but more in the nuance is this kind of thought that's often translated as thought, but as we study, we see it's a dividing, distracting thoughts. These are the thoughts and imagination that raise themselves up against the knowledge, get that? The knowledge of Ha-Elohim. So the same word is used in Psalm 94 and 19, and it's translated as cares, the cares, right? So the cares of the world, and the deceitfulness of riches, the cares, right? So we have this kind of link right here, the dividing, distracting thoughts, right? The dividing and the distracting thoughts. So this is the first verse. Right, this is the Ale verse of today's daily psalm, where the psalmist acknowledges that Elohim, who created him, I, is aware of his every thought, his every action, his every thought in word and deed. He invites, and inviting Ha-Elohim to examine his motives. In this today's daily psalm, we're inviting, in this contemplative meditation, we're inviting Elohim to examine I motives. Right, the law came through Moses, right, but grace and truth. So not to fall from grace, be honest, right? For he is confident, right? Confident that they are pure and being confident in the victory of good over evil. Now, the statement is understood as generalizing. The psalmist describes what he typically does, right? But here, he and we invite Yahweh, he who be, right, to examine I and to keeping it personal. It says, taking it personal, examine me. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. Like I said, we're just taking bite-sized portions in today's daily psalm, but be it as it may, let's go on to the bait verse. Ata, yadaita, Ata, yadaita, shivati, shibati. You know my shibati, my shibti, my sitting down, my down sitting. Really, my sitting down. You know me when I'm sitting down. Now, there's a deeper meaning like Vayeshev, to sit. It also means to enthrone, or when you are seated. When people are seated, like you're comfortable. If you can understand the spirit, not just a letter of the law, but the spirit, right? Ata, yadaita, shivati, with kumi, and my kumi, I'm getting up, kumi, my rising up, kumi. Banta. Here's a command word, right? Banta, right? Or banita. We're saying understand, perceive, understand. Bina, bana, build, and that says bana. Banta le raiya meya rahok. Banita le raiya meya rahok. You understand my thought, le raiya, from afar. Me rahok, from rahok, ruk. bamarinya ruk, we say, but in the Hebrew, me rahok, right, from far. You knew my sitting down, yada'ita, you have known in that sense. You have known. Hata, yada'ita, you have known. Shivati, shivati, my sitting down, me, and my getting up, my rising up, right? Banita le ra'iya me rahoka. You, the eye, you perceive, and in a sense perceive my thought. Right? Perceive my thought. Understand. You understand. You build. It's a beautiful word, bina, bana, right? Bana, 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 bana. Right? But here, just zooming in right here to this bait verse, the AB, right? Aleph bait. So thou hast searched I, thou hast known I. The object I, as we say to know I, is not in the Hebrew, and is understood because all that is in my center, all that is in my heart, heartically speaking, all that is in my center, the center of my being, heartically speaking, my thoughts and my feelings. So you know, right? And sometimes when you know that he knows, he's like, you know. You don't want to go over those details because you know everything, right? Thou knowest. The subject thou is emphatic in the Hebrew. Ata, meaning the I and no one else. You, he, male. He who be, who he be, the I, and no other I but the I. Hata is emphasized in the Hebrew. Thou only being omniscient, all-knowing, canst have such knowledge, canst, or English, are able to have all knowledge. The all-able, right? Such intimate knowledge of him. Down sitting, as we have in the classic KJV, sitting down. That's always my sitting down. We say sitting down today, but they say down sitting. So shibati, my shop, yeshop, my yashop, right? All activities of my life. That's what the idiom of the sitting down and the rising up. All the activities of my life. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7 brings it out. My thought. Now, only again do we have this word in verse 17 of today's daily song, right? In verse 17 it reads, how precious also are thy thoughts to me, O Elohim. How great is the sum, how great is the sum, how great is the sum of them. Right? Wali ma yakrua ra'aika el. Right? How weighty also are thy thoughts, ra'aika el. This Aramaic, right? Are your thoughts to me? Me atzamu, like how great. Right, how great the sum Rashehem. How great is the sum Rashehem of the sum of them. Rosh, is the sum, are the sums of them, like the grand totals, are the heads of them in that sense. Rashehem, right, are the sums. This is the plural of fullness. The vast sums. Each thought of El, and we have El here, not just Elohim, but El, right? The El, right? Each thought of El is in itself unfathomable, of Ha-El, by man, and in totality, it's immeasurable. So we have the same word, which is an Aramaic word meaning inclination. It means inclination. It means wish. Like a wish, a desire, an inclination, some of the Aramaicisms, right? And the idea of from far. The eye knows is from far, right? Even from far off, the eye knows what I is thinking, right? So note that there's the thinking and the thought, concerning the words in kind of both, in both senses. We're going to take it to the Gimel. Right, the Gimel here, as is I tried and custom right here. Let's just ride up with this. The Gimel, ABGs, Abu Gi, right? We have thou compassest my path and my lying down and art acquainted with all my ways. Just something to meditate, right? To meditate on here. Archi, with ribai, with rivi. Archia with ribaia. Zerita, we call de rakai. He's sakanta. He's sakanta. He's sakanta. You scrutinize my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways. My path and my bent rush grass you trace, and all my ways you looked out ahead. If you want to be a little more literal. Archia wiribaiya zerita wikola derakaya. He's sakanta. He's sakanta. KJV, as we have gone through, thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted. All my ways are acquainted. All my ways. Derakai. He's sakanita. He's skanta. You're acquainted. You look out ahead. You acquainted. Now you measure us. The sense of measuring or compassing. All right, some say you measure this, my going about and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. Measure this. This sense is obtained by connecting the verb with zeret. We had zerita, to scrutinize, zerita, to compass, zerita, to measure it. But zeret is a span. It is, however, to be connected with the common verb meaning to winnow, to sift. Right? You ever cook rice or something like grain and you sift it in a sieve? That's the sense right there, to winnow, sift, and should be translated more better, thou siftest. In other words, in today's daily psalm, the 139, because of that meditative, contemplative, we are submitting to a minute scrutiny. Right? Today's daily psalm is a submission to being scrutinized, even minute scrutiny. My going about. Right? My going about. Right? This word and its contrast, lying down, in combination also signify the daily activities of a person's life. You know, because what do people, almost everybody do? They lay down, they get up, you know what I mean? They sit down, they stand. I mean, these are what they do when they get up, stand up. So from someone, okay, maybe a little different here, but these, for all activities of one's daily life, ways, dealings with one's fellow. Now, this is used as well in Psalm 138, around about verse 5, for Elohim, the Derakai. As he has his ways, we have our ways. The goal is to make our way Yahweh. But the Hebrew, just for the fulfillment here on the Gimel verse, right? My traveling and my lying down you measure. My traveling and my lying down, archi wirivaiya zarita. You measure, zarita from zara. Zara means to measure. Zara is zara, not zarach, not hate, but hey, zara, to measure. It is probably here, some say, a denominative, right, of zarat. Some say zarat, but zarat, which is a span, like a span, a measure. Though some may derive it from zara. Zara means to winnow, to sift. To winnow, to sift, right? To winnow and to sift. You sift I, you winnow, right? You winnow I, even I and I. Yes, I. So, Amen. Una cheni, biderek olam, and lead I and I in the way everlasting, always faithful, always sure. Yes, I. Forever living, always faithful, always sure. Amen.
Shabbat Salam, Shabbat Shalom. A song for days of resting inside your home.
Whoa, yeah. Pivotal time, right now. Choose before a place where no choices be. Him Haile Selassie spoke to these issues in specificity. Before they escalate, happen early, humble into levity. Now it's not for triviality,
Rastaman elevate the wisdom tree for souls to live in joy, resonating, marinating in beauty. Let the positive rhetoric and economics interlock and purify I and I only. Highly holy, highly world psycho-immune, immunity elevate, don't you know? Things are coming clear, true, it take a painful, a lot of error, a lot of miscue. Hear me? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. The oneness of man in the YHWH. The genome sequence innate. The name of the Most High in every modulation of DNA. People right now, stop twisting, squirming. Serpent, the carbon have taken its place. And what I must be, Jah law, I must obey it. Yeah. Cellular law supersede your law and order gun rule. Right now the outcry in the earth is great, great. The immigrant image need adjustment space, yeah. White wagon cover, white boat sail, exceedingly white sanitary trail, trailer park, modern moving, nomadic ways. Remember, hear me out. Study the settlement chronology, you see. Nothing's changed, nothing's changed. The larger issue is if you can, you should remove the burdens, modify the living good. Destiny is subject to the decisions I and I make. Simple, humble, love and forgive. Love body in relate. Related I say it. Related I say it. Related I say it. Related I say it. The very spark of life is still mystery. Man in the 20th century have destroyed more man than combined natural catastrophe. Negative and dissonance even in bodily frequency. Stag antlers on the wall trophy. Look, you see, chop off the deer head for the beauty of his natty, of his dignity. Rowena and Marcel, don't destroy yourself to be free. Babylon pushing the emotion button, triggering calamity, triggering through the infrared scope. Line up incites the poverty. The whole world living fearfully. Paranoia overrun the news. Right now, tonight the oxymoron news is about probability. The what if we are attacked in these ways possibility. Posse. The very vain imagination of multiple fear resonating. And then if they admit the truth, they fear that repercussions will be unmercifully. It's gonna take overstanding and maturity. Some painful revenge, bygones to let go. For I and I to live peacefully. To live peacefully. Hey, oh yeah. To live peacefully.
Yes, yes, yes. Live peacefully. Shabbat Shalom. Sembet Salam, fam. Yes, sir. Oh. You hear? You hear? Shema Yisrael. Here, here, here. Shabbat Shalom. Sembet Salam.